morning and welcome to UPN Focus. We got a fun show for you today. Probably some information about an organization, institution that's been around for quite a while, a little more than a decade, and maybe many of you don't know very much about it. We're talking about the Indiana World Ice Skating Academy, the Indiana World Ice Skating Academy, We're going to do that with the Director of Marketing there, Dan Beauchamp. Dan, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
You know, the Ice Skating Academy, again, has been around for quite a bit of time and located downtown across from the RCA Dome in the Pan Am Plaza. Tell us what you know about the history of it, and maybe we'll debate a little bit about what we know together about it.
Okay, you've been there since before I was there, so you know more about it than I do. But it was, from what I understand, it was started around the Pan Am Games and developed the plaza, and they added on the ice skating rinks to go with that, and we opened up, Indiana World Skating Academy opened up in November after the Pan Am Games.
Yeah, actually subjacent one that's an Olympic size rink, as they call it, and one that's upstairs on street level at the Pan Am Plaza, and a pretty tough, inconvenient place, if you look in retrospect now, to have pads of ice.
Sure.
What kind of challenges does that present to you as a marketing director there?
Well, first of all, we don't have the community base that I think that you would want to try to grab. If you're in a community, then you've already got that community's attention and everyone knows what's going on. And we don't have that community that other places might have, and that's probably first and foremost. And then a close second behind that is the parking situation and the problems we have with the Colts games and events downtown that there just isn't parking for.
Well, you know, the Academy has several purposes, and it handles several disciplines. If you really think about it, and you don't know very much about ice skating per se, there are a lot of disciplines even within ice skating, from dance to figure skating to individuals to couples. But that's not all. There's speed skating, and you've got hockey. Right. Tell us about the programming and how do you coalesce all of these varied markets into two small pads of ice?
Well, I'd like to think that we've got something for everyone. Whether you're a weekend warrior and want to do public skating or you don't know anything about skating, we can teach you how to skate. We have a Learn to Skate program that teaches you, from age of usually 5 to 65 how to skate. But there are older and there have been younger, several times there have been younger skaters that have come into our programs except for that age group. We've got hockey, like you said. All kinds of hockey, and usually we don't have enough ice for all the hockey, and luckily there's some other ice rinks in the community that we all share teams with, I guess. Then you've got speed skating, and we're the only rink in the state that has speed skating. We do have the Olympic-sized rink, which is very uncommon in the United States. It's more the European, worldwide length, and that's the wider and longer ice rink. And we've got private ice, we've got broomball hockey, which you can throw a ball in there and go in your tennis shoes if you don't want to skate, and get basically a broomstick without the bristles on the end and play hockey like that. That's pretty fun for a lot of the kids. And we've got rental skates and whatever. We've got everything.
Dan, it's kind of interesting to me to kind of see the evolution, because it was right after the Pan American Games that I got called by some of our community leaders as they were looking to develop an academy. Of course, a facility is one thing, but really having an institution with program things that go along with it are much more critical. And I at first thought it, and now looking back at it, that it might be a little pretentious to call us Indiana/World Skating Academy. Although I think we've handled that title well with the type of programming. We are involved in professional and heavy-level amateur skating as well. Tell us about the coaching programs, the real elite skating opportunities that exist, and a degree to which there's any relationship with the National Federation for Ice Skating as well as with our Olympic Committee.
Okay, well, another benefit, or one of the benefits of being downtown, is we're real close to the airport and real close to Market Square and the RCA Dome, and that helps us out in events like skating competitions, ice skating shows, and we get people like Michelle Kwan and Surya Bonley, Scott Hamilton, Todd, his name escapes me all of a sudden, but he does our Special Olympics as well, and he won the national championship. For some reason his name just escapes me. But some of the top flight world skaters have come to town. In fact, Michelle Kwan was here a week after she won the world championship this year, and they're just great, and they kind of help our skaters bring them to that next level when they see, the marvelous wonders that they can do.
Plus, we've got a facility really that's kind of second to none, little different in that you have 2 pads of ice in the same location. You've only got, you also have the elite level skaters with really professional coaches that spend a great deal of time at preparing their students. Yet you don't have to be an elite skater to take advantage of the skating academy. No. What kind of programs exist for those of us who really prefer walking in tennis shoes than on ice?
We've got, like I said before, we've got the Learn to Skate program, and we've got different kinds of developing skating programs that can start with the Learn to Skate program, or it can just start on a public skating time, where we had during public skating just send coaches out there on Saturdays to just take people aside and show them 2 or 3 things for free, just to kind of get them, if they were interested and didn't really want to commit or didn't want to buy a session or pay for a session, just to kind of get them, well, this is what we'd be teaching you, this is how you do. And when they see how easy it is to learn some of these things, it kind of gets their attention, and they go from there.
And you're like me, you've been involved in baseball a good part of your career, and you look at all of the other activities, sporting-wise, recreation-wise, that we have in a community like Indianapolis, where we have significant opportunities for those who are involved in what we might consider the classic sports, but probably not as much awareness of the unconventional sports. So you've got some marketing challenges. Absolutely. With all the other facilities we have and all the other competition for one's leisure time. What is your plan to tackle these marketing challenges and to draw people down to the Pan Am Plaza to skate?
Well, one of the things we've got going on in October is our annual Fabulous Fall Free Family Skating Weekend.
No, I'm not going to even try to repeat that. I think it says some fabulous fall free family skating. Oh no, that was way too many in there for me. The alliteration has never been my strong suit.
Okay, we've got that going in October, and basically what we're doing is opening up. Everyone can skate free. Public skating, we're going to have skating instructors in there to teach skating lessons, have broom ball. There's going to be hockey games going on in another rink at some times. Then we'll open that up and let them watch the hockey games for free. We've got door prize giveaways. Local community has stepped up to the plate and donated a lot of items, from tickets from Indianapolis Ice. The Pacers have given us things. The Colts tend to give us things every year. And just local hotels and restaurants have just donated things. So we draw people's names out of a hat and give away the prizes. Just kind of a thing to get our name out there and to show people where we are, and to show them that ice skating is really not that difficult, and it's fun.
Well, we don't live north of the border, where our Canadian friends and northern parts of the United States are very rabid about their hockey. The degree to which we spend community resources to be able to open up the world of ice hockey to those who otherwise would have not spent very much time deliberating or talking about it. Significant hockey programs that we have there, from formerly, I don't know if it still exists, but kind of a junior ice program, all the way to actually hosting hockey tournaments from throughout the Midwest. What percentage of the Academy's efforts are devoted towards hockey versus that of some of the other disciplines?
Well, we probably have more resources toward figure skating than other rinks, because hockey is what brings the money in. But we do have a lot of hockey. We have a lot of hockey, especially evenings and weekends, as hockey just dominates this time of year. So right now, hockey is really, really huge. But we have hockey all year round. We have figure skating all year round, and we're one of the few facilities that have 2 pads of ice all year round. Most facilities don't do that, and they can't support that, and a lot of facilities take ice down, if they have 2 rinks, to take ice down at least in 1 rink, and to do roller hockey or exhibits or something like that, just to try to get them through the summer. And we do have programs all year round.
We are going to talk, and I want to get in more detail about the preparation for athletes that ultimately might make it to the Olympic Games out in Salt Lake City, because we do have some focus on elite athletes, and then I want to know how that whole proposition is ultimately going to support those who may have some interest in the ice and may not have the opportunity to do that. We're going to do that right after we have these very, very special words from our sponsors. Welcome back to UPN Focus. We've been talking with Dan Beauchamp, who is the marketing director at the Indiana World Skating Academy. And the Indiana World Skating Academy has been an institution in our community really since the 1987 Pan American Games, located in the Pan American Plaza. We've discussed that it has wonderful opportunities for people who've not had a chance to really investigate, explore the adventure of being on a pad of ice. From youngsters all the way to seniors that would have opportunity in a public way to take advantage of learn to skate programs and hockey programs and speed skating programs and all of that. Yet when we had that name, that word world in our title, that meant that we really had goals and aspirations that were much more lofty than that of only our own provincial location. There have been many who have trained, as you talked about earlier in our segment, at the professional or the significant amateur level there at the Skating Academy. But there is an ongoing program to be able to try to elevate some of our talent, and some have received Sports Corporation Special Olympians grants in order to train at the Skating Academy. We do have as a goal to get Olympians coming up in a couple of years in Salt Lake City, of course, really this month down in Sydney for the Summer Olympic Games. Do we have any prospects there that we might want to keep our eyes on, or if not prospects for the next 2 years, maybe 4 years hence? And what would you say about our facilities and services to drive would-be elite athletes to the facility?
Well, since I've been there, we've had a lot of people that have moved to Indianapolis just to train year-round. Louisville, Kentucky, we had a skater who was finished 8th in the world.
Matt Kessinger.
Matt Kessinger. And we've got people from St. Louis, Cincinnati, Chicago, and all over the Midwest, and even East Coast and New Jersey, we had some people move in because of the facilities and the coaches, and to train year-round. And some of them are going to school, and some of them are being homeschooled. So they take this seriously. This is, to some of them, their Olympic dreams. Some of them, not that high, but there are a lot that their goal is to be in the Olympics.
What about some of our coaches? Can you tell us about the caliber of coaches that we have at the academy? That if you keep skating and skate hard, you might be able to grow up to have a coach like these.
We've got some of the best coaches in the world from all over the country, hockey and figure skating, but especially figure skating, where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 world coaches right now that I can think of off the top of my head, and several other that may not be world, but certainly have taught the second and third level beyond this local region.
Can people rent the facility for birthday parties or for other activities for fun, if in fact there is some down ice time?
Sure, we have group discounts, so they can come during a public skating session. We have private ice time where corporations or groups have just rented the ice, all the way up to like when CBS comes and rents the whole American rink and has their CBS after party for the NCAA tournament. So from small to big, we can accommodate.
So we've got a facility that's got pads of ice, and what happens in the summertime? Is this do you operate year round, or is this just a time when hockey season is hot? What happens in a facility in the summertime? Do you cover it over, or do you keep skating?
No, we keep skating. In fact, our summer figure skating summer school is one of the best in the world, and it's the United States Figure Skating Association Regional Training Camp. We call it our Celebrity Series. Last year we had Michael Weiss's coach come in, Audrey Weisinger, and she's coming again, in fact, next year. That she loved it so well, and the kids loved it so well that we're bringing her back. But some of the big names come here just for like a week of that, the first week of summer school, and teach. And people come from all over the country and outside the country to that figure skating summer school.
Well, when I grew up, and it's probably like you too, Dan, when we'd watch baseball, and when we'd go want to emulate our favorite folks, we'd go out to the backyard and get with our buddies, and maybe the most expensive thing we would have would be a stick and a ball and maybe a glove if one or two of us were lucky enough to acquire that. Our thought all along was, well, we can do those things because those are pretty easy. The facilities are not inconvenient, and more importantly, they are accessible, meaning that affordable. We always thought the golfs and the hockey and in some parlances, football and others with the very expensive, enormous amounts of equipment that exist would made it prohibitive for people to have an interest. Well, you're a marketing director. You've got a challenge to say it's not that expensive. And you can't really say it's not that expensive because there are some expenses involved. Are there programs that folks can avail themselves of, whether it's consortiums with other pads of ice, parks and recreation facilities, other skating opportunities, where people just say, I would really like to try that, but I just can't afford it. I don't own skates. I don't want to buy skates. I mean, how can people get involved? And that's part of your marketing challenge, but I don't know how you're going to solve it.
What we're trying to do is come up with programs that make it affordable. One of them is the Fall Free Family Skating Weekend, and some of the free things we do on Saturdays at times, especially in the summer, spring and summer, that we're able to have people on there and actually teach people that they can skate, and then try to work from it that way. All of our Learn to Skate programs, we give them skates, our rental skates. We don't charge anything for that, but there are some things that can be a problem at times, and you have to try to deal with it and overcome it, and that's one of the problems we're faced with, and everyone's faced with that as far as ice.
Functionally, I know that it's very, very, very difficult when you're managing a sports and recreation opportunity when people have other choices that they can make. And I want to talk a little bit about strategies on how we're going to create opportunities within that framework of all the other choices that we have. We'll do that right after these important words. In focus, we've been talking with Dan Beauchamp here of the Indiana World Skating Academy, and before we left, we talked about all the choices that I have as a consumer to utilize my leisure time. I can go to a park and have self-directed activity. We've got trails and trail greenways, and in the wintertime, I suppose, if I wanted to, I could just go watch a lot of basketball or even go to gymnasiums and play basketball and other indoor sports. Soccer is pervasive and all, and we've got youngsters that are not only in school programs, but the YMCA programs and others. That's an awful lot of competition to be able to bring to someone who perhaps have not been exposed to the ice. What kind of strategies? Are you going to advertise? Are you going to get public dissemination programs? Are you going to work within the schools? Exactly how are you going to do this, Dan? Because this is a challenge that I expect that other organizations, and you worked in a minor league baseball organization in a town a little smaller, just our neighbors up north in Anderson, but even there's a challenge in being able to make a discerning decisions for people who are going to use their leisure dollars. What are you going to do to get these people to figure that this is an adventure worth taking?
Well, first and foremost, you have to get them educated, tell them what it is, how they can be a part of it, what it takes to be a part of it, and let them know that it's not that out of their way, it's not that difficult to try to be a part of it. Education is the key, and I try to work really hard by letting everyone know every aspect of what's going on through our website at iwsa.org. And on the website, I've got hundreds of pages that focus on different programs and different ways that people can be involved. And that's been huge.
So clearly, people should not be intimidated by the location being downtown, in the heart of downtown. In fact, that could be more convenient for people from all sides of town to be able to utilize those pads of ice. They also shouldn't be frustrated because they can't get ice time because of some elite skater or some elite practice or a hockey team or practice being there, because there are ample opportunities to do it.
Sure.
One way to explore that is going to come up in October when you're going to open up the facility for an entire weekend for free.
Correct.
Tell us about how people can take advantage of that. Do they just show up, or is there a registration requirement? Is there a phone number to call, or the times of day when certain activities are going to take place? Kind of describe in a minute or so here, if you can, Dan, how we can take advantage of the fabulous free, whatever you said, fallen skating. That's what I'd be doing, is falling, and it wouldn't.
Well, it's October 14th and 15th, and first we just got to make sure that people can try it, because it's not as hard as people think it is. I have a basketball and baseball background. I don't have any ice skating background, and when I first got on ice skates, I'm like, wow, it's not a razor blade. This is easier than I thought it was. I've got pretty good balance, but it's not as hard as people think it is. So one of the ways we're getting people out there is October 14th and 15th. We're going to offer free skating, and basically you can just show up. But what we're doing also is that I've got over 125,000 requests from schools for tickets, and I'm passing out these free tickets, which basically is a flyer and a schedule that tells them everything that they need to know on how to get there and what to do and what time and what to show up, what to wear, or what to bring. Everything on there.
And what telephone number do they call to be able to get information about this weekend?
237-5565, or there's also free tickets on our website, again, at iwsa.org, and they can get that without even having to go through the schools.
And along with that event, take advantage of these other calendar events.
Here are some events in our area for you to focus on. The Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church invites you to Health Fair 2000, today from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be free health screenings, a clothing giveaway, and lots of activities for the kids. Health Fair 2000 is at the Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church on Ribble Road, west of 30th and Emerson. And don't miss Wonder Lab's Family Fun Fest today at Monroe County Fairgrounds. There will be over 100 exhibits, demonstrations, activities, and much, much more. Wonder Lab is a science museum that benefits over 400,000 people across 10 counties. Family Fun Fest will be held in 5 buildings at the Monroe County Fairgrounds today from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Indiana pacer Austin Crozier joins the fight against Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's Association Memory Walk is scheduled tomorrow at Butler University. All proceeds from the walk benefit local Alzheimer's families. We want to hear from you. Send your event information 3 weeks in advance to be part of the UPN 23 community calendar.
I know you're going to take advantage of those opportunities, because you know what? I am too. Just like we're going to take advantage of the fall fabulous skating at the Skating Academy coming up in October. Dan Beauchamp, thank you very much for being on our show.
Thanks for having me.
You come right back here next week, same time, for UPN Focus.